Hey, Roger Martin here from Billings, Montana. Looking at some of these videos, there's too many unanswered questions with the news media. They just report, but there's no real investigation anymore. It's more like propaganda with no investigation. What is interesting is you can see some of these trees have been partly burned, but others have been almost untouched, partly burned and then untouched. So the intense heat in this area is very confined. It isn't blowing over and burning up these trees. It's very confined, which sends a flag in my mind. How do you confine that heat to such an area? It's almost like it's controlled. We'll see another shot here. There's others as well. This is an R&B restaurant. Go back here. And you can see partial burning here and here. The other trees are not touched. So there was tremendous heat right in here, in this area. But the other area is not. And how come it partially burned the trees but did not catch the trees on fire? I don't understand that. You get that much heat, it seems like it would have consumed those bushes too. Very controlled burns. Look at some of this other stuff. Now these trees were far enough away so they aren't going to be burned, but some of these were burned. Very controlled fires. Very controlled here. Burned on one side, not on here. Trees are far enough away. Let's go to some of these other shots. You can see some of these trees are burned up pretty good and then others aren't. But the houses and the buildings are just totally gone. They are gone. Just nothing but ash. Seems very strange. Why wouldn't these trees, this wood, be gone too? Very strange. Let's go to this nanotechnology. Either it's a government weapon or nanotechnology or something else technology, but it's being used, obviously. Let's pause this. I'll give you both these videos, but talk about nanotechnology and chemical and weapon technology with this. This nanotechnology is pretty scary. You look at these little fibers here, these nanotechnology fibers, look how small they are on a finger, and yet they can be controlled by computers or a brain center, control center, and they're very, very small.
It's 1/80,000th of a hair width and even smaller. And he talked about, Angel did, about the clean rooms, the vacuums, chambers they have to use these as well. And they're self-replicating as well. That's another huge
Self-replicating. Self-replicating. How is that possible? We're talking about high technology here. Self-replicating. Let's go here. Talks about these controlled burns watched by the firemen.
By the firemen. That's what they're talking about, is these self-organizing, programmable artificial intelligence Ember firebots that allegedly now is being thought of as the causal factor for burning down buildings, hitting one and not hitting another. I mean, this is the new technology, the highly advanced technology that they've been using. Look at the fire. Look at how it organizes and creates its own sparking. And look at all the embers in there. Those could very well be all organized nanobots that are being programmed to attack one area and not another.
I mean, this is crazy stuff. Look at the size of this stuff. It is incredible.
And so small that you need super special equipment, you need vacuum rooms, and you need the knowledge base with the
Look at the size compared to a fly's head. Look at the size of these things, how complex they are, and how small. These are bots, micro bots, micro robots.
The math in order to assemble. Look at this is a fly next to a microcircuit nanobot. I mean, these things are tiny and tiny. All right, this is from the sheriff getting out. Let's look at.
This is interesting. Watch carefully.
Now we can see them coming from behind as the guy's walking forward. We can see the embers are shooting forward as well, like the wind is blowing them, that you don't see the jackets and the people having them being blown. Look at how fast these embers are moving. It's like they're going to a next location. They hit one area, they're being programmed to hit the next location. I'm still learning, folks. I'm just with you looking at the film, saying this could be a possibility. I'm not saying that's how it happened, but it does have explanation. The technology is available and has been available for quite some time, that these nanobots are being used to torch. And look at that. See, look at that stream right there. Look at how it organizes into a big strip. Let's look at that again. And so I've slowed it down to a quarter speed. And so you see no embers, you see no embers at all. Then all of a sudden, here comes these streaks of embers, and they start pooling, and then you've got them organized. Look at how organized they are, folks. Look at them patterned in straight lines, and they're all in together. They're not separate embers. They've all clustered. These are a cluster of embers forming a big, like U, around the guys that are walking around. How does that happen in a normal fire, or whatever the normal is? Oh, I forgot. This is the new Abbey normal. So what we're now learning is that these fires were started with the nanoparticulates that were robots, swarming robots, programmable, self-replicating. That's the other thing. They can self-replicate, so they can build and they can build and they can build into swarms. And then, as we've seen, they can be programmed, all of them being programmed by a single brain source, a single source.
Crazy. And look at these people that are involved in this, and it's just a partial selection. Pause this and go forward to some other stuff. I didn't know that they're using the light technology here to penetrate us and to get information from us through LED lights. This is also on this. Look at the size of these things. This is a big one. A big one. It's got a payload and a camera. These here are carbon nanotubes.
Millions of them in just a jar in the micrometers. They're talking very, very small amounts.
10 GMs. Now we're getting into light technology.
But the other thing that the gentleman angel was discussing and talking about, that this is used in conjunction with LiFi, the light emitting. These are the
not Wi-Fi, LiFi. LiFi. This is from light. They're using light to transfer information from light. Not radio waves. This is light. A little different.
The LEDs in your houses, folks. This is what's in.
So they're using these LEDs in our homes to get information from us and to transfer information to and from the light source.
Invasive species as well, which nobody's really talking about, and also ties into 5G. LiFi uses light instead of radio waves to transmit information. And instead of Wi-Fi modems, all we're going to need is Wi-Fi powered up is going to, the LED on the LiFi is going to be able to power up your internet.
So this is going to power up our internet through LEDs, but no one's talking about it. But what does he say? They're 10,000 times more powerful than the Wi-Fi? Holy cow.
And it says it doesn't have any harmful.
Yeah, right. 10,000 times more powerful? You got to be kidding me. Not really recommending to use LEDs. That just changed my mind.
Light bulbs are made to flicker at extremely high speeds that the human eye cannot detect. This is accomplished by flickering of the LED light bulbs to create binary code of on and off, and is done at higher rates than the human eye can detect. So you shed a couple of extra bucks on the lighting solution and get an incredibly fast internet connection, which means the more LEDs in your lamp, the more data it can process. It's a two-way communication device that's 10,000 times as broad a spectrum as the radio wave frequencies which Wi-Fi uses. Let me say that
again. This is 10,000 times as broad as the radio frequencies used in Wi-Fi. Now, there are certain radio frequencies that have proven helpful, but now we're talking about something that's 10,000 times broad spectrum as the radio frequencies. Again, this is invasive technology into our homes and our lives. We have to set a limit and stop on this. This is unreal. Now let's go to these lights, LED lights in Japan, he
start coming
says.
by. But watch the LED lights as the cars start to come by. And as they come by, the flicker rates will increase as they start reading inside the cars who's in there, what they're doing, what their activities are, and taking readings all the way down these cars as they're driving by. This invasive species, these two-way communication devices, and then they go back to passive or off. On, as people come by and they read what's in your car, what you're doing, and then off after you go by and they've taken the information and data they want from you. This is the LEDs that are everywhere. LEDs are in all the homes, they're in the hospitals, they're in your schools, they're everywhere. This is another invasive technology on top of all the rest invasive technologies that we've been discussing.
Invasive technologies through LEDs. Oh my God, what have we done? What have we done? I'm going to end it here. This is through, oh golly, I'm pretty sure it's through SGT reports, I think.